That's all right. Hey, we give you all. Let him, let wow. 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 The universal fountain. We are wine. Let that. Wow. Wow. Now, for those of you who don't know what wow means, wow doesn't just mean wow. Wow actually means it was an ugly blessing. So when we say wow, that means that was a blessing, but it didn't really look like we thought the blessing was supposed to look. So we call it wow. Wow. So I want to come here and talk to y'all, give y'all my thoughts my loved ones, my people who I would be nothing without if it wasn't for the love and support of my ancestors, of God Goddess, of my brothers, my sisters, my whole ones, and my friends. Lay them lay there. Um, Today is a really good day. I just got off the phone having a conversation about doing some modeling for a calendar that would be dedicated to honoring some of the girls, and an opportunity for my art to be immortalized in a calendar here in New York. That's an amazing opportunity. Oh, just so thankful. Just so thankful. Not only that, but Monday I start my first day of work here in New York. And it's at a location that I have been trying to get on at for since July of last year. I don't run up in places all willy-nilly. I've learned my lesson. I've had a lot of people to spurn me and to do me things that I learned from, lessons that I was able to learn from a man, a woman. And so now I'm moving more cautiously so I can even be thankful for all the things that was done to me that I might not have enjoyed at the time. That I might not have enjoyed at the time. Yes, all the things that was done to me that I might not have enjoyed at the time. All those things that was done to me, that was disrespectful. I am in the process of, y'all excuse me, I saw some foolishness that I had to block. But anyway, getting back to the message, because I don't want to be too detoured by the robots. My God, it's got your day. I want to talk about Black people in Black History Month. Now, in this video, I want to go on record of saying again, and I have to say this periodically for y'all, that me acknowledging myself as Black is me acknowledging one aspect of myself. I was watching Brother Dane Calloway today on his channel, and he was talking about how Black men dead, and when we acknowledge Blackness, we're acknowledging ourselves as dead. And I'm a whole, so death is a part of life. That's a part of my being. The fact that this physical body must perish so that this energy can go on and inhabit something else. Amen, a woman. So I don't see myself solely as Black. I see myself as a multitude of other things. I'm sure there is so many different stories and cultures and ethnic backgrounds that are existing in my DNA, which is probably why, they have us taking certain medicines to try to change our DNA. But when that light come on in your head, when you have that awakening, when you have that great getting up morning in your mind, my God is God today, that can't be undone. Amen, a woman. Sometimes you be kind of wishing you could forget a few things, Sometimes I think when old people get Alzheimer's or when old people have dementia and they can't remember certain things, I think it's because they're carrying too much. And it's something in them helping them to repress certain things just so that they can have some form of peace. Dementia and Alzheimer's might be a blessing for some people, might be a blessing for some of them to forget. That's a blessing that you don't have to leave this plane remembering all of the harm that you've potentially caused people. My God has got your day. So, there's a blessing in everything. There's a blessing always hidden in everything that goes on in our lives, But in Black History Month, I find it hard to celebrate right now at this time in my life because I feel like Most of the people that we celebrate during Black History Month are part of the boule, the Black boule. And we have to ask ourselves this question, like realizing that a lot of these people who are in positions of power are creating a narrative for us. A lot of it is fraudulent information. Um, it's a fine line between extending grace and being fake, just like it's a fine line between being fraudulent and being professional. A lot of people will hide behind professionalism to play around with fraudulent behavior, but I digress. Um, yeah, so Black History Month is it's hard for me to visually celebrate with images of people who we've been taught to celebrate, because now I have to ask myself, were these people a part of the boule? Are these people a part of something that has continued to impede upon my liberties? Me realizing freedom in an authentic way for myself and not some hive version of freedom? Not some single-minded, monolithic idea of freedom, but actualizing and manifesting my idea of freedom. And I think the consequences for manifesting freedom should differ, based on how you've lived your life, and people will deal with you how they see fit, but karma will deal with them. Like if somebody wants to bestow harm upon you, we see now that's inescapable. The mistakes and the missteps of our ancestors. If we continue to walk in the same path as our ancestors, that trauma does not disappear. That trauma does not evaporate. That trauma does transform. It does transform, but it also lingers. Yeah, we can carry it on from person to person, because I think that some of the trauma that we are experiencing to this day is passed down trauma. It's pain that our ancestors experienced, and as a result of the pain that they experienced for the time that they were in, they taught certain things to the next generation. Some of those things are not necessary to know now, or some of those views are not befitting of the time, but yet a lot of us are still holding on to a lot of things that were passed down from our ancestors because of a result of a trauma that they experienced. Like, we're still holding on to that, and a lot of stories are being told through that same lens. And so we're not able to move forward in the way that we need to move forward. We're not able to show up in society in the way that we need to show up so that we can be healers. So that we can not only feel healing, experience healing, but be healers for other people. And I make it a point to say, God, Goddess. I make it a point to say Laylim Laylar, because this is my spirituality. This is my faith. This is what I choose to believe in. Some people will choose to believe in science, and some people will choose to believe in politics. But I'm sure by now we've learned that politics are not absolute. They're not infallible. Anything that's dealing with humans is not going to be absolute nor infallible. Neither is science. I sit up here and I ask myself on a day-to-day basis, like we're so invested in healthcare as a society versus holistic care and self-care that I feel like we're continuing to create problems. Like if we were a society that focused more on the needs of people, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, like if we were sincerely focused on things like that and not focused on the things that we have been focused on, and we just learned how to change that, like I don't know what type of robot this is. Like I gotta figure out how to yeah, you really like you serious with it. Like you came back and you did it like how many times this time? Yeah, I gotta find you and block you because I really honestly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna delete this video. Remove, and I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna delete you. I'm gonna find you, and I'm going to delete you because nobody wants to see this. Like report pornography, like get a life. Like no. Now report pornography. And so I'm getting ready to end this video. But I wanted to remove all of that first. Um, Let me light my candle. You trying to mess with my energy? I see you. I see you. I mean, there was a lot more that I wanted to say in this video, but I need to protect my energy because I saw that too. Like you just came back randomly. I saw that. Like I get it. I get it. I'm having a lot of joy. We must balance it out with some drama. I get it. Um, but yeah, I don't want that on this video. I'm in a different place with the Black History thing. Very much a different place with the Black History thing. I just think that I am celebrating melanated people. I'm celebrating people of color, people who don't have color, people who are pale faced, because all of y'all my ancestors, we all came from the same place. So I'm celebrating, but I'm celebrating this melanin because that's the experience that I was born into. So I'm celebrating me. Nothing wrong with celebrating me. We getting real brainwashed by that word narcissism, but you cannot be on social media and have a social media presence and there not be an aspect of narcissism, there not be any ego. Like it takes ego to navigate this society. We are whole, and there are traits of narcissism and egotistical and superficial. All that is in the DNA. It's all in there. It's like paste Picani, it's in there. But where we choose to sow our time is the one that will be the most pronounced. It's the energy that you feed is what you will be most remembered for. She's a narcissist, oh, she's shallow, oh, she's superficial. I used to do all that too. I just don't want to be too much of those things. I want balance because it's all there, all things in moderation. So having better balance is the most important thing for me. But I'm not going to judge nobody and say, oh, you superficial, or you shallow, you narcissistic. Like I get bothered when it's a little bit too much for me. And if I need to block you, I will block you. You don't even have to be the done me nothing. You don't even have to be the talked about me. It's nothing personal. I'm just trying to protect my energy. So if it's too much of one thing for me, I'm chunking up the deuces. I'm good. I don't need this in my psyche. No, I don't have to listen to this. I don't have to watch this. And so we have a choice. That's our free will. What we want to feed ourselves, what we want to take into our psyche, the space we want to thrive in. I'm whole, but no one can tell me um, what my recipe for wholeness is. Somebody may be a whole lot of shallow and a whole lot of superficial and a whole lot of narcissistic, and then they might be a pinch of lovely. They might be a pinch of peaceful. Like no one can tell you what your recipe is. Like you create your own recipe for who you are. But I'm sick of this European colonized, stuff where that's a narcissist and they're this and they're that. Child, if you on social media, you have a page and you don't put pictures up on it, there's a seed of narcissism in you. So ego, narcissism, that's in everybody. The trick is not to let it consume you and imbalance you. And so even with sharing on Black History Month, I'm not feeding too much into that celebration because I'm still unpacking the fact that a lot of people that I've celebrated and honored were a part of the ones who wrote history. History is written by the victor. And there were people who looked like me who participated in the oppression of us, in the had slaves working for them. You know what I'm saying? We already know all of this. Like we know this existed. We know it happened. And so, am I supposed to be celebrating you and worshiping you for impeding upon my liberation to a degree by upholding the system that made it okay for me to finish last? Simply because, that made it okay, that supported them stealing land and taking land and procuring land and saying it was theirs. Like, am I supposed to celebrate you because you became famous in this system, because they celebrated you, because the oppressors thought something of you and immortalized you? Like, do I too now join in on that celebration? Like, I'm gonna honor you for being examples of paths I could take or paths I could not take. I give you thanks for that. But I'm more concerned about honoring the ancestors that they never talk about, but the ones who fought, suffered, and went through so that we could have what we have today, but they were erased from his story because of who they were, because they were whole. They didn't want to suppress parts of the truth in order to control the masses. Because I'm sure we've had beings who've come and prayed to mother and father at the same time before. I know this ain't nothing new. I'm not the first one to come up with this, I'm sure. I'm sure that society has not been around like, why would America just choose to pray to masculinity and to lift the man above? Like, that hasn't always been going on in this nation. Like, we've had groups that honor the mother and the father, but they probably suppress them because that's the type of being that's going to bring everything together. See, sexism, and colorism are the crutches of racism and patriarchy. The crutches, they hold it together. And so when you start honoring the mother and the father equally and acknowledging and celebrating both of them equally, honey, you start changing the environment. You start ridding that friction and that tension, and you start relieving that type of energy. And then, males and females and XYs and XXs and all the other variables can start to cohabitate together and share space together and stop making this, just because you're born with dick and balls, you're a predator. Just because you're born with dick and balls, you're a predator. That type of thinking, I don't like that. Just because someone's born with a penis doesn't mean they're predators. You could be a predator and be born with a vagina. You just hunt differently. And not all the times hunt differently. But we're going to stop making people with penises predators. And see, that's one of the reasons why I ain't really want to keep mine, because I know that's the game y'all play. When somebody get a little bit too much power and they using their piece. He raped me, she raped me, because now y'all saying the trans women raping y'all. He raped me, she raped me. Anybody with a penis is a rapist. See, I saw you. I know what you do. I know how this society work. Penis equals rape. You got me messed up. That's why that's one of the reasons. You won't do me like you did Michael Jackson. And see, that's how society set up. Thank goodness that I lean more towards my mama, lean more towards my grandma and my great grandma, because getting rid of my piece didn't break me. Oh, but baby, when a girl get a little bit too much power, see these girls be around here with these pieces and stuff. Then they drug you up. Then the next thing you know, they sucking on your piece and playing on your piece and ram their piece up inside of them, ripped up tissue and stuff. Then they gonna lie and say that you raped her when they drugged you up and took your weenie. But it was rape. Not on my watch. Sacrifices have to be made. Sacrifices have to be made. And I was willing to make the sacrifice to go the distance. Fortunate for me that I'm more like my mother and my grandmother. Penis didn't make me. Penis does not define me. Penis didn't make me. Penis didn't make me, boo. Oh. Yeah, but I want to do a video coming up soon about topping after surgery. Because they think when the girls, go off and get pooches, we don't like to, play with the boys' cookies. We ain't got no business playing with the boys' packages. Well, baby, they got something for it. The females do it. They call it pegging. Women out here who was born with vaginas pegging these men in their booty holes. You gonna tell me I can't peg them? They're already getting pegged. I just didn't want to peg you with mine. I like penis in me, not on me. Tell me I can't peg. They're already pegging them. But anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about this subject because I'm going to save this, for when we have a panel discussion, so we will get a chance to talk about that. I don't know what's going to go on with this. I don't know what's going to go on with this. It was right there on the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, I don't know what's going to go on with my Patreon for right now. Put my Patreon on hold. Put a fork in that. Because I have been talking about sex change issues a lot. Like I've been, right now I'm going into a fasting season, so I'm about to stop having sex for a minute. So there's not going to be any sexy stories. I will be dilating, but all of that sex energy that I've been kind of having lately, which is why I've been doing so much sex change topics because like I've been, living my best life, but I'm about to go on a fast from certain things. So so there will not be any sexy stories. So I'm gonna put a fork in like in sex inspired stories because like the videos don't be about me having sex with these men, but they do be inspired, by that exchange, having that extra masculine energy, surging through my body and connecting with men in that way. So that's not about to be happening for a couple of months. So we could probably stick a fork in, just focusing on the Patreon for right now because I do want to focus my energy on this job that I have that I'm about to be doing. I'm really super excited about. I want to focus my energy on that. I want to focus my energy on other things, gonna continue to make art, paint. I got some 2 new paintings that I want to do. Yeah. So like yeah, I'm just gonna like continue to do videos on YouTube. I think that Facebook for now. I'm about to put a fork in Facebook for a little while because Facebook be taking a lot of energy. So I really honestly just need to focus a little while. I'm thankful for Facebook. I'm very happy for how my setup is now. Blocking is healing. Putting people on your block list, that's healing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you ain't even got to be the donut to me, and I'll block you, honey. It could be, you just getting in the way of my growth, boo. I gotta block you, boo. You unsettling my spirit. You distracting me from my growth, boo. Guala la fitun babosa yaktao, honey. You got to go, boo. I just have to put you on that block list. Blocking is healing. Somebody testify in the comment section if you know blocking is healing. Put a man, a woman. Blocking is healing. You ain't got to say all of it, but just go ahead and testify, honey. If you know that blocking is healing, put somebody on your block list. Will heal you, honey. It's a healing, honey. Amen, and woman. I went and took the booster the other day, and I'm so thankful I didn't have any side effects. Amen, and woman. So it's just about creating that cocoon. They didn't want us to work with art. They didn't want us to do art, but baby, I put myself in a cocoon of my own art, and it's just healing for me. Thank you, God, Goddess. Thank you. It's just so healing for me. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. I'm very, very thankful. My sister is having a church service today, so I got to go look on my Facebook and see if it's about to come on. They having a church service down there in New Orleans and things during the Mardi Gras season, honey. I'm feeling festive. 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 The festivities. The festivity mug. But yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's everything that I want to talk about. Yeah, but like I'm going to be focusing my energy on this job and this upcoming modeling gig that I'm really excited about that I said in the beginning of the video again. So yeah, I'm going to be focusing my energy on those things. Don't want to be having my energy all over the place. I want to be able to focus it in, honey, so that when I get ready to do what I get ready to do, honey, it's going to be intentional and forceful. Amen. They want to later. Dan mananandala who keeps spinning and turning in God, which means I am a child of God, goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Okay? If I am, then you know you are. Okay? This candle acknowledges past, present, and future. The true Trinity. Okay? And as I blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with strength on the spiritual plane, guiding us, our ancestors who are out there making their transition, whether it be on the physical plane or the spiritual plane, guiding them on to the next part of the journey. Thank you. Amen and woman. Okay, so we got the energy back. We got it back right after I had deleted all of that off of there. Thank you. Yes. And so remember, when you celebrate Black History Month, we might be celebrating the Black Boule.